Yo, what's up guys? So today I'm gonna show you how I made my new song Endless Summer, and it's a pretty simple song, but it has a cool like sound design and mixing techniques that you can use in your production. So I decided to show you how I made it. So let's listen to it. I started this song with making like a classic 90s house bass that you can hear in many songs that sounds like this without any post-processing. Yeah, it's a simple bass you heard a million times, but I really like it. I decided to use it like a main sound in my song. So, and then I have the most simple post-processing here, just OTT, some saturator, EQ to cut off the low end, then glue compressor, and that's it. Because the main sub we have is here. So it's just a basic shape with some distortion, some saturator and EQ. So then after I did this simple post-processing here, I printed this bass into the audio and I did some more post-processing. So this bass have like a pretty clicky sound. You can hear it without this EQ. I didn't like this sound and I wanted to take it out, but like to still leave a high frequency here. So I have a dynamic IQ. So I have a dynamic EQ here. It's Pro Q3, my favorite plugin, and it works like this. So whenever this frequency plays, it just dynamically cuts it out. And then I have a high frequency EQ boost here, and then a shaper box that adds like a white noise on top of it. So without this it sounds like this, and with shaper box it just completes the sound. And then I have exactly the same bass but just a stereo layer, but just in stereo. I have no mono here. You see, I took it out and I have just a stereo channel. And then I printed this as well. I just took out the frequency we don't need and put erosion on top to add the white noise too. And for the sidechain I use the Kickstarter. So together it sounds like this. Much more fat than original sound. Yeah, much better. Okay, then I already showed you the sub bass we have. After that I started making some simple chord progression that sounds like this. First layer I have here is just like a quiet high frequency layer. Yeah, just a super simple basic sound I made. That's all I have. Another layer I have is just a square wave, just a simple one. Then I have a Contact 5 piano, the Giant. It's one of my favorite pianos. I always use it in all of my songs. So it sounds like this. Almost no post-processing, just EQ. And the main layer is some preset I found. Yeah, and all together they sound like this. Yeah, very simple, but I like it. Okay, then we have a support melody that plays throughout the whole track. It's like very atmospheric melody that I like, and it makes the mood of the whole track for me. So it sounds like this. Yeah, it's just a background melody that plays all the time, and it's like you probably can't even hear it almost in a mix, but it just makes the mix more full. It's some random preset I found. In the second part of the drop we have our lead. It's 3 layers, sounds like this. I wanted to make a sound that is kind of like a lead, but more on a background. First layer, I have virtual riot noise sine. Yeah, I adjusted it for my liking, but yeah, it's very simple, very cool. And another layer is virtual riot raindrops. I've been using this preset in like all of my songs. It's my favorite like plug sound. And the third one, just some random splice preset too. And the post-processing on them are like very simple, just saturation and EQ. And here's more EQ on a second layer to give space. Then we have a contact 5 again, or contact 6, I don't know. It's a Spitfire Studio Strings, one of my favorite. Just one note that plays throughout the whole track. Nothing to see here. Yeah. It just adds to the atmosphere. Then we have a synth that I use for the second drop mainly, but it plays in the first drop a little bit too in the end. So it's a simple preset I made. It's like I was inspired by Virtual Self and his leads. So it's very simple but pretty cool. And on post-processing I have, as always, saturator, RS20, and then I have OTT but from Xfer. I don't know why I use this one, just randomly. Then I have a simple EQ and Kickstarter for sidechain. Then we have drums. So drum sounds like this together. Yeah, so I have two glue compressors here. I don't remember exactly why I did it this way. I just like it how it sounded. And then in the end I have a G clipper to just clip everything about the zero. So it's two layers. The first I believe is click. Yeah, just a simple click, and the second one is the kick. Then I have a clap and another clap. I have some fills here. Then I have two hi-hats here. One that plays with a kick. And one is like the main house hi-hat. Then I have some percussion loops here. So this percussion goes together with this hat and it makes it more organic. Then I have a rain texture that goes throughout the whole track almost. And it just helps to make the track sound more organic and like analog. So it sounds like this. Also, I forgot, in the second part of the drop where the lead plays, so here, we have a really cool bass guitar. So it's my favorite bass guitar that I use in all of my songs. Is, I can't pronounce it, it's Scarby Rickenbacker bass. I just took a lot of EQs and boosted the high frequencies because I really like how it sounds when it picks up the high frequency, because without it, it sounds like this. With high frequency. Yeah, much better. So then I printed this into the audio, and then I just took out the low frequency, put some saturator and more EQ to give space for the main bass. So it can work with the sub bass. Okay, then we go to the breakdown. So I have, believe, the same chords I used for the drop, but I changed them to be like more sustained for the breakdown. So it sounds like this. And then I have the ARP here that sounds like this. So I just took these chords and I used the arpeggiator from the Ableton with these settings. And it's the same preset I took, but I just changed it to sound more plucky. Very like summer vibes. Then I have the same piano from the drop, but just sustained too. And the first layer of the drop sustained too. I was lazy, so I used the same samples from the drop. On vocals, I have Waves tuner just to make sure it's in key. And then I have EQ, Overdrive, Fab Filter Pro 3 with dynamic EQ to take some like harsh high frequencies. Then I have delay, and I have like a reverb effect here on the second drop. I use the heavy sidechain on this vocal chop because I don't know, to make it more groovy. Okay, and the last thing I have is mastering. The mastering here is bad, and I don't recommend using my settings. I was just lazy and I used the Ozone Clarity. It just makes the whole mix more like balanced. And for the reference, I believe it takes the pink noise or brown noise. So I use it to fix some problems I had in the mix. Without any mastering, my song sounds like this. So after Clarity, I have a Pro Q that boosts the high frequency dynamically. It's the first time I ever did it, because usually in my mixes I have a lot of high frequency and I try to cut it. But this mix I was trying to make originally so like analog and like pleasing to your ears that I cut out so much high frequency that it needed a boost. So it works like this. So it's boosted, but when it's too much, it goes down to 0. And then I have Ozone Imager to make it more like stereo. And in the end of the chain, I have the maximizer. I usually do like for dubstep songs and trap songs 0. And for like more mainstream songs, I do -0.3. And for this song, I chose -0.1. In general, people recommend doing like -0.33. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple song. There's not much like to show, but I hope you guys seen something new for yourself and it's gonna help you in your production as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.